Hi, this is Off to Battle, and I still have a very low-rent streaming setup here, so that's why it looks like this. Today, I'm responding to the whole Creative Assembly community statement about the state of Total War and the Shadows of Change DLC, and they've made the socials look like... yeah. So, what I'll do is just respond to this statement and give you my impression, because I put a pretty provocative thumbnail out there for a reason. This statement says some things, I don't know if it's inadvertently, but... okay, so the guy's saying he's Rob Bartholomew, Chief Product Officer there at Creative Assembly, and, you know, the thing is that they're talking about raising the price. The problem here being that the price is the same as the Forge of the Chaos Dwarfs. So the thing is, right there they've just said our content here with Shadows of Change is less than Forge of the Chaos Dwarfs. And we're left to our fevered imaginations how much less. And if the way that the socials have been going is any indication, those fevered imaginations look like this. So the point is, they're telling us it's less content. They're not telling us exactly how much less. This was a bomb dropped on creators just as they were sending out their videos covering the content itself, and they can't even show all of it. But their embargoes have dropped. I'm not among them. I'm not among the privileged few. And that's fine. I'm a junior creator at this point. I'm not a big shot. That's fine. But the point is that I'm with your position here. I'm staring at this. I'm like, okay, I'm creating Total War content. I'll have to get this no matter what the price is. I'll have to pay the blood price. But is it a good value proposition? Well, how low is the content? I mean, if it's not going to be Forge of the Chaos Dwarfs level, then is it going to be Champions of Chaos level? Because that's another thing. Is it going to be like the entire Tomb King's race? Is it going to be the entire Vampire Coast race? Or is it going to be more like the Prophet and the Warlock? And that's a good DLC, and it had a lot of value. And by the way, I'm someone who played Tehenwin rather than Ikit Claw, because Ikit Claw was overpowered in 2. In 3, I will consider playing him in the future. But he was a bit much in 2, so I tried the harder option because I wanted difficult campaigns, but not at legendary difficulty, because I was still trying to master the game. So that's fine. The point is, they're telling us, essentially, pay the price, or will Three Kingdoms Warhammer 3. When you did this to Three Kingdoms, you had Warhammer. Three Kingdoms was your side hustle at the time. What's your main gig if it's not Warhammer 3? If Warhammer 3 is your side hustle, and we should be paying this price in order to support your efforts, regardless of, I mean, the value proposition, let's say it would be Prophet and the Warlock. In real people math, that would be jacking the cost by the cost to the consumer, the price, by 150%. In Total War math, it's 250% the price. It sounds like a lot. It sounds like a lot of money. And it is. And the point is that I understand that their teams have been hard at work. I mean, I like what I'm seeing of the content that I'm allowed to see. I want to do more videos on monsters. I want to do more content for Total War. But when you're doing stuff like this, you're telling people our content is less and you're going to pay more for it, and you should be happy. And when you put it like that, like I said, the big thing is, you're telling the consumer, you need us more than we need you. Is that even true? Does it matter if it's true? Does it matter more what people believe in their hearts? And, I mean, if they want to draw attention to this, they drew attention. Oh boy. But what I'm saying is simply that, yes, their costs are up, so are ours. But the point is, are they up to the point that it would be like double and a half the price of what you paid a few short years ago for something that had similar levels of content? Aside from the extra monsters, and I appreciate them, and I really look forward to doing videos on them. But the point is that you're still, even if you're still comparing to, let's say, Champions of Chaos, you're still essentially rubbing it in people's faces. And you're saying, pay the blood price. And if people just look at you and say, no, what are you going to do about it? Are you going to Three Kingdoms, Warhammer 3? What's your next play if you're doing that? So it feels like you're doing this for shock value. You've dropped a bomb on the creators who actually were working with you and who were actually looking fairly impressed at seeing the real thing live. And you're just essentially punting all that goodwill away. I mean, to the extent that you had goodwill with the content creators, but we're not supposed to be in competition with each other. You're not a YouTuber, you're a publisher. You're a game development company. You have stakeholders. I understand that. I wasn't going to say anything about this because I'm cynical enough and realistic enough to understand a lot about business, and you're going to charge what you think you can get away with. Can you get away with this? Can you get away with threatening your fan base, your customer base, and saying, we'll take our ball and bat and development and go home? And do what? What's your next move after that? I understand the shock value. I understand you want people to buy this DLC. I can barely afford to do it myself now, and that's a good thing. I worked hard for that. But the point is that you're asking a lot, but if you're basically saying, do this, or the next time that Nakai can't recruit Kroxigors, you won't get that fix. That one really stuck in the Kroxigor jaws of the content creators and the longtime fans and so on and so forth. It's just... yeah, you really should have had that covered. So, I mean, threatening not to fix your own bugs is definitely not something that is going to get a lot of goodwill, and I understand why people are upset about it. That's in your court. I wouldn't have said anything if you hadn't come out and blown this up into a world-ending catastrophe. I mean, you're the ones that did that. So, I mean, about ranged units no longer running headfirst into melee when out of ammo, Cathay Legendary Lords now having magical light. Like, it's your game, you're the one presenting it, you should have it fixed. And you should present having it fixed as something that's your baseline and not a bonus that we have to essentially get on our hands and knees and beg for, with our bigging bowls out filled with the dollars that you will be taking from us. I don't think that's a good look, and that's just friendly advice because I've gotten a lot of your products over the years. I've, I haven't been as down on you as a lot of people have. I've never done a video about your company practices before now. But you're the ones saying, same price, less content, and we're not telling you all the content so that you have to guess how much less. Because I understand enough basic psychology to know that that's going to leave a mark. And it is. And it's ongoing. That's why I'm doing this video. I want views. But I don't want to get views like this. I want to get views covering the cool monsters. I want to get views covering the content that is enjoyable from your company. I don't want to do content covering your blowing this up into a world-ending event. It's not fun for me to do it. So, choose to do something different in the future. Even if you're saying the same thing, you can present it in a different way. You did it for maximum shock value. I understand that. I am not taking it personally. But a lot of people will. And please keep that in mind going forward. This is Off to Battle, off to a future battle. Take care. Have fun.